Hello, my friends and family. It's Amy Smith Dupree, and I am coming to you for part two. So I did part one yesterday of steps to get ready to purchase a home. So we talked a little bit about due diligence money, and we talked a little bit about earnest money deposits. And so in this part, we are kind of discussing what the negotiations look like in your contract. So this is the time that we talk about um, seller concessions, and not to say that you cannot ask for those things throughout the process, but when you're offering to purchase somebody's home, this is the time that you would ask for, money back towards closing costs. This is the time that you would ask for the refrigerator and the stove and all of those things. Now, there is another part once you get your inspection report where, as a buyer's agent, you go for blood, baby. Anything that comes back on that inspection report can and will be used against you. And that's what I tell my sellers as well, is that if you can avoid things from being on the inspection report, i.e., meaning take care of those things before the inspector comes in, is best, because somebody, agent like me, let me get that report and something crazy on there, baby. We're gonna use it to our advantage. I'm not even gonna go into detail about like certain cases and like certain contracts that I've been involved in, because a lady never tells. But I have a strategy for that. So yeah, we'll get there. But I also am a huge, huge, huge um, advocate for asking for money back at closing, because my whole thing is like, you can ask for money off like the purchase price, right? If that makes you feel better. But really, in all honesty, $10,000 less in the purchase price only breaks down to like $100 less in your mortgage payment. And I'm not saying that that's not a lot, but if you take that same $10,000 and ask for that back in closing costs, um, you may have an opportunity to bring less money to the closing table, number one. And also, you may have an opportunity to buy your rate down, so you make a real difference in your monthly mortgage payment. So those are just things to think about, and things to think about, and when you're constructing your offer. And obviously, your real estate agent has a plan, and it's important to talk to them. And like I said in the last video, you just have to get with somebody that shares your vision and knows what you're trying to do and is in support of helping you do that. So, and I don't just want to give you an example, because I know sometimes it's hard to like conceptualize what I'm talking about. So, if you have a house that is 300,000 and you feel like it's not worth that 300,000, but you do want to make an offer, instead of offering 280, consider um, offering them the 300,000 and then taking 20,000 back. Now, a lot of times you can only do up to 6% of what the purchase price is and closing cost contributions. So, check that, make sure those numbers line up. But that's just food for thought. And I know a lot of real estate agents, because real estate agents get paid a percentage of the purchase price, right? So I know a lot of real estate agents push that because they want to get paid on a higher purchase price. That is not the reason why I do it. I do it because, and I get with my people's lenders, be like, hey, can we buy this rate down? Instead of that money coming out of the pocket. So that's just something to think about. Yeah, so that's just something to think about when you are constructing your offer. So, moving to the next point, the inspection report, where deals go to die. The inspection report, or repairs, negotiating repairs, is a huge one. If you are a first time home buyer and you're not handy and you don't want to do anything or whatever, this can be a little scary. Because when you get the inspection report, everything sounds like the house is about to fall in, you know. And to be fair, an inspection report is to find everything that's wrong with the house. Do number one, do inspectors miss things? They do. Number two is their job is to find everything. So with that knowledge, the inspection report is going to have a lot of things on it. A big one is, oh, the seals on the windows are broken. It's causing condensation. The windows need to be replaced. That you see a lot of things over and over on the reports. Does that mean that the house is falling in? No, that's not what that means. And also any and everything can be fixed, right? And you have to find somebody. A lot of times the issues are not as bad as they seem. Number one, and also this is a great time to run it up. And a lot of times what we do is we find contractors to give us estimates, and then we try to come to a middle ground of either are they gonna fix it or are they gonna give us money towards closing. So you have to determine what's important to you. And in my opinion, that is the time to go for blood. You know, I won't elaborate. Um, and also, every house has something wrong with it. Houses are made by imperfect people. You know, everybody, and that's just food for thought. Nothing's perfect. A lot of times people think, oh, it's new construction, it's perfect. No. And you do need to have an inspection on new construction. So we're gonna move, all of those things being created equal. That's kind of the negotiation part or whatever. So once all of that, y'all come to an agreement, the deal did not die. You're well on your way to purchasing your first home. Then the closing attorney and the lender get together. They get your final numbers. You wire whatever your closing costs are to the closing attorney. You go, you sign, bada bing, bada boom. You're a homeowner. Now, this is a big one, and I don't think this is you get a peek behind the curtain on this one. The federal law states that you are supposed to have your closing documents to review 3 days before you close. Do you think that always happens? I'm not saying that it does or it does not, but closings change, closings get moved up, closings get pushed back. But I say that to say, make sure that you have enough time to review your closing documents and you're comfortable. And don't think that because a lot of times there are those, I've heard people say, I didn't know it was going to be that much. Before we get to, and I've heard other people that I did not represent say, I didn't know it was going to be that much. And if I had known, baby, I would have walked out the door. It ain't over till it's over. And if you don't want to buy a house, if you get to the last second and you don't want to do it, sure, everybody's gonna be bummed out, but you got to do what's right for you, And if I'm your realtor and you like, I can't do it, bro, got you. That's what your realtor is for. I'm not saying do that. I would, if you don't wait till the last minute, but that's what your representation is there for you, to be your voice when you can't voice your opinions, you don't feel comfortable to do so. So that is a very high level view of what it's like to buy a house, and like some of the things that you need to be aware of and think about and all that good stuff. A lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So I just thought I'd take you through the process from you found the house, now what? I'm under contract, now what? So you don't feel blindsided. I don't know if you're going to watch this video, girl. I don't know if you're going to even think it is helpful, girl. I don't know. But what I do know is that I have been a licensed realtor, North and South Carolina, for 8 years. And even knowing all the things that I know, when I purchased my house, I was anxious. So it is scary. It can be scary. It can be unnerving, especially if you have commitment issues. A lot of people have those, like 30-year mortgage. Oh my God. I can't even keep my plants alive. Guilty. So yeah, if you have additional questions, if you want me to cover something a little bit more in depth, I'm happy to do that. I'm a real yapper. If you have questions, my information is in the bio. Call, text, email, carrier pigeon, hit me on in the DMs, whatever. I love to talk about real estate any and all the time. Okay, bye.